In this episode, we're going to be making cornbread, sweet cornbread, but this is not the typical sweet cornbread that we know. This is more soft. It's more like a souffle. Let's see how it looks. We start by combining 1 cup of cornmeal with 3/4 of a cup of whole milk. Combine very well and then set aside. In a saucepan over medium-low heat, let's melt 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Once the butter has melted, let's add 2 cups of fresh corn. Let's cook this corn over medium-high heat for about 3 minutes or so. At about 3 to 5 minutes, let's add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. We will also add 2 cups of whole milk. Cook over medium-high heat until it begins boiling. Once we get a boil like this, remove from the heat, cover, and let it rest for about 10 minutes. At about 10 minutes, take the cooked corn and blend it over high speed in a food processor or blender. I blended the corn for about a minute at high speed, and now I'm going to return it to the saucepan. Cook over medium-high heat again until it starts boiling. Notice that I have changed the mixture into a larger saucepan because now I'm going to stir in the cornmeal that I prepped at the beginning of the recipe. Cook over low heat, moving continuously until this mixture thickens. This is the consistency I'm looking for, and now I'm ready to take this off the heat. Place the mixture in a large bowl and let it cool down for about half an hour. Once cool, let's add and mix 3 egg yolks. Mix well, set aside, and then turn your attention to a mixer. We are going to beat 3 egg whites with cream of tartar, and this is a product that you can find in the spice section of any supermarket. Combine 3 egg whites with 1/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Start the mixing at medium speed, and a minute later increase to medium-high speed. Beat the egg whites until getting a dense foam, like here. Start mixing the beaten egg whites with the corn mixture. Add and mix a second part of the egg whites, and then the third part of the egg whites. Please, by this time, try to use a folding technique and be gentle. Once this is well mixed, we are almost ready to start baking. You can choose to use one single mold or large mold or individual ramekins. I will be using small individual ramekins for this recipe. Now you need to grease the mold or ramekins, and since I'm using spray butter, I'm going to cover my table with plastic just to make it easier and faster. And we are now ready to start placing our corn mixture in the ramekins. My mixture was enough to fill 7 of these ramekins, and now I'm going to bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 minutes. If you use a single large mold, it'll take about 45 minutes to over an hour. Notice that I baked on the middle rack without the use of a tray. A tray would have made the baking time longer. A little over half an hour later, and I am enjoying my souffle, if you will, or spoon bread, cornbread. This is a great alternative to the regular or typical cornbread that we all know. I hope that you guys can make this recipe. You can actually add a little bit more sugar than what I did. I'm going to leave that option written on the written recipe that I'm leaving a link in the description below for you guys to find it. But anyway, guys, please make this recipe, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you, like always, on the next video.